a story from your childhood, and please talk about your brothers and sisters in it.
There was 4 of us younger ones in the family, and we did everything together. We just played all the time. But when we didn't want Adrian around, there was 3 girls and 1 boy. When we didn't want Adrian around, we says, "Oh, we're going to take our shirt off," and Adrian would have to leave the room. That's how we get rid of him, because then we want to talk about girl things. And Adrian was always with us. He didn't have anybody else. He had just us 3 girls. So we had to play together. And Adrian and I were a team, and Nita and Dottie were a team. And Adrian and I, we'd finagle and we'd do things. We'd hide on the farm, and they'd have to find us. And that's how we played. But one time, Adrian crawled up on the tree, and he fell out and he broke his arm.
What about Buckshot? What do you remember playing?
Buckshot. He was way too old. He came home from World War II, and he brought this bride from England. And she was so, we thought, here, we ran across the fields barefooted, and we just ran. We looked like farmers, and we were black. And here he drove into the yard with this English woman. And he introduced us to her. And her name was Violet, but she changed her name to Patricia. So when we'd tease her, we'd say, "Hi, Violet."
Okay, so who's the oldest in the family?
Irene.
Irene. And Irene married
Einar Dawson.
Einar. What about those
But
two?
Mom and Pa wouldn't let them get married.
Why?
Because she was she wasn't old enough. She was 21, and he did not want her to marry Einar because he was Lutheran.
Really?
And you didn't marry non-Catholic.
Ah.
So Irene ran away and got married, and then where Einar was going to be stationed, they got married, and Einar went overseas.
Ah.
So Irene got a job right there, and she worked.
What country?
And he went over to Germany.
Oh.
And then, or he went over to, he was over in Germany in World War II. And then who married Silly? Oh, there was this good-looking guy.
Okay, so the oldest is Irene, and then...
And then it was Rose. Oh, they let her, she married a good Catholic, so they
Rose
let her.
married Jake Schwab.
Yep, and he was right from Esmond. He was a good Catholic, and they got a big wedding for him, and they got married in Esmond. Comes Silly, she's the next one. And this good-looking guy, they had thrashing crews. We had thrashing. And us kids had to pump the sewer so they could take a shower, all these men. So then we would pump the sewer, but this really good-looking guy from Minnesota came. And Silly fell in love. But they wouldn't let her get married either because he wasn't Catholic. So she ran away and she was 21, she ran away to Minnesota and got married.
What does running away mean? Do they just never
Go to another town. They went out. She went to Minnesota and got married.
Nobody knew they were leaving. Like one day she was just gone.
I don't know. That's all they said. She ran away and got married. Because they wouldn't let her get married there, so they went to Park Rapids. But he turned Catholic and everything, so I don't know how they did that.
So Irene and
And then they came home, and then Pa bought a farm for them to farm, and they got to farm there. And when Einar came back from the service, they bought another farm so Einar could farm. And then Irene and Pa would always get into fights because Einar didn't farm good enough. Oh my God.
So that was Dahlstead, right?
Yep.
Einar and Irene, how many kids did they have? Who were their kids?
Irene and Einar had Lynn and Linda. They were the twins. They were 6 years younger than I am. And then they had Anita, and then they had Danny and Buddy. They had 5 kids.
5 kids.